Here's Harrison Butker out there to get this thing started. And off we go from Charlotte. And no chance to return this one. Through the end zone for a touchback. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. And a good start on the ground. He gets 8 on the game's opener. We'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. They'll stick with him again. And this is going to be an Eagles first down. Good running. Gets him to about the 44.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. 2nd and short. Play action pass. You can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
Right back to him on first down. And drawing some oohs and ahs from the crowd. Sidestepping his way. Nifty gain of 9 there.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You've got to have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
He'll try to get back to the line, but he's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the first down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
Now, on 3rd and 2, they'll try and throw for it. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a first down.
No, Mike, I really like this game plan, right? The strategy on 3rd and short so often is, okay, just get enough for the first down. If you decide to air it out, everything short, get a fresh set of downs. They're saying the defense is going to pack it in close. They're protecting the sticks. So let's just throw it over their head and try to go for a big play.
Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground. Like, there was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
Got his receiver on the in-cut. He's got it. A pickup there of 13. Good for an Eagles first down.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even if the coverage is not perfect for the play call, sometimes it's just as simple as my guy is better than your guy, and we're going to just keep giving him a chance. Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Now they'll set up to throw. And that is caught in the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Touchdown number 7 for him on the year. A terrific way to start this one. Not only a touchdown, but a nice long march down the field. Makes it a long walk back to the bench for the defense.
Mike, that's about as good as you can imagine starting a game offensively. To be able to sustain that many plays and be able to cap it off with a touchdown, that is a dream start for this offense.
Seven 0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. Now return coming from the 7. Across the 20, they'll mark them down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. They'll run, and for the first time, it's Jonathan Burks. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
These edge rushers, they are judged by their sack totals, Mike. They love to rush the passer. But they have responsibilities in the run game as well. Great job here, keeping it to no gain.
They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short.
So you come back out here after watching the opposing team score first, and what you want to do is you got to establish a little early rhythm and get the drive started. Get a little positive energy into that huddle, and what hopefully starts out good ends with you being able to get some points of your own.
Now, faking the give. And that is incomplete.
The whole idea of the play-action pass, Mike, is that you can slow the pass rush down enough that it allows longer, slower developing pass concepts to open up downfield. But in this case, they were on him so fast that by the time he got his head around, that ball needed to come out. There was no timing and ultimately led in an incompletion.
And not much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. Here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Got a man downfield. It's Wilson. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. What a way to kick off a drive. That's a gain of 30 and another 1st down. Give on the ground, and they'll take this down inside the 35.
This is already a little better than the first time they had the ball, Mike. Remember, opening possession, 3 and out. Showing some signs of life here now. Nice pick up there by the back to pick up the 1st down.
They'll stay on the ground. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmask the defense and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds.
He'll work forward for a couple. Powerful Rashawn Gary there in run support. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Now this time they'll look to throw. And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
You're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. They'll throw out of the gun. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
The best guys I've been around, Mike, they have a sense where they can see the ball, but they can feel the sideline. And that's kind of an innate sense that these guys have that allows them to concentrate and secure the catch and ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
Good snap. Good hold. Good kick. And the Eagles will extend to a 10-0 lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Here comes a return from the 3. Now an opening past the 30. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. They'll run with the rookie, drafted in the 3rd round. He'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
The size, the speed, and the strength of this defensive tackle was on full display, Mike. He defeats the block, strikes the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage. He's able to bring him down, keep it to no gain.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
There's only a handful of guys in the league who legitimately have world-class speed, and he's one of them. I mean, he's the type of weapon that you 3 or 4 times a game have to just say, okay, my guy, he's faster than your guy. We're going to send him deep and let it fly. And even though that one falls incomplete, you have to continue to sprinkle that threat in because it makes everything else in your passing game that much easier.
Here's their punter now. And he's on to punt for the 2nd time in this opening quarter. And he looks up, he's taken down right away. Maybe fortunate just to hold on to the ball as he was tackled immediately after hauling that one in. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. They get 11 and quickly pick up a 1st down.
You hear teams talk about it all the time, Mike. Let's win at the point of attack. And boy, this team here early in the 1st quarter, they've done just that.
From the 34 now, it's 1st and 10. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. Not much there. Maybe a yard. Here's a 2nd and 9. Throwing now from the gun. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there. Just watch the speed of the pursuit out of this safety on this tackle, Mike. His ability to play from depth and attack the line of scrimmage and meet that ball carrier in the hole and keep him to no gain. You don't see a lot of safeties able to make that tackle in the open field. field. That's pretty impressive.
He is in. Touchdown, Philadelphia. What a job to finish the play with a touchdown. The catch and carry, and the carry part, Greg, that was the most impressive there.
Well, you said it, Mike. The catch was nice, but it's what can you do after the catch that really separates guys in this league. And in this case, he did plenty because it ended up in a touchdown.
Next to score, Eagles 17, Panthers nothing.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This one taken at the 7. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. That's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Cooper DeJean. And he is just going to waltz his way in. The pick 6. A touchdown for the defense. And they extend the lead. The defense joining the party. A pick 6 for a touchdown. Greg, they are extending this lead out.
Yeah, now you've just seen both sides just make their impact felt here in the first half. The offense has done their part, and now it's the defense that is able to capitalize on the turnover and take it all the way back for the pick 6.
Score, Eagles 24, Panthers nothing.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This will be returned from the 6. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
I think all of us up here in the booth were curious, how is this quarterback going to bounce back following the pick 6? And, a lot of guys come back and they're very conservative and they just want to dink and dunk because they're scared to throw another pick. Well, we found out pretty quickly. Not this guy. He's going to continue to attack the ball downfield, and he's looking to make big plays any chance he gets.
That one knocked away. It is incomplete. Very good job defensively. Stayed right with him, and will bring up 3rd down.
As this offense continues to put anything together and score some points, they need to just take a step back. They need to say, okay, we've struggled here in the first half putting points on the scoreboard. Don't worry about chasing points. Let's chase first downs. Let's chase completions. Just start building something small, and oftentimes when you take that approach, it snowballs, and next thing you know, you find your groove.
That ball is caught on the sideline, and both feet. A big 3rd down pickup for a 1st down. A gain there of 13 yards. So the challenge is unsuccessful, and he's going to have to be careful here because he has just one challenge for the remainder of the game. Room to run past midfield. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield.
We've seen this trend throughout the league, Mike. Offensively, everyone wants to have depth at the running back position. Yeah, it's great to have one guy. But if you could have 2 or 3 that could all come in and contribute on the ground, that's the goal, and we're seeing it here.
Not Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's second down.
The 47-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up second and 9.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. Now, he'll air one out. Oh, the defender able to get his head around and intercepted. Picked off by Quinyon Mitchell. And the Eagles are going to get this back at their own 34-yard line.
When you find yourself in this situation, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. This drive will start on the ground. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. That is intercepted. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position. A huge chance to cut into the deficit.
And this is going to go down as a pick, but it really was the pressure defensively that caused the interception. I mean, he was a little sloppy with his fundamentals, but I think it's as a result of the guy in his face led to that ball kind of sailing, inaccurate throw, and that's just really good team defense.
First and 10 now from the 36. From the shotgun, it's a give up the middle. Well, that looked like a pretty clear hold. The gain was 5, but let's check the call. Back to throw. Nowhere to go. He is taken down.
When it starts bad, has a funny way of ending up getting worse, and I don't think that could be any more true than it is right now. They're already down by multiple possessions, and after that start to this drive with the sack, they find themselves once again in a massive hole.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. They send the tight end in motion. He'll look to throw. And this throw batted away and incomplete.
Really just been a combination of errors here on this drive. I mean, the sack on first down put him in a bad spot. Then the incompletion there trying to gain it back on second. And now they find themselves in a critical 3rd down here, or they're facing a 3 and out.
What can they do here? This is 3rd and forever. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making... Defensively, it'll set up a 4th down. Here's the punter now. As this drive went backwards, he's on to kick it away. Oh, but he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. So they come to the line for first down and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. To the sideline, and what a catch, and what a great job to keep the feet alive. Inbounds as good as you can do it. That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
This is such a critical moment in the game, that middle 4 minutes, the final 2 minutes of the first half, and then the possession to come out of the halftime break. So maximizing this possession here before halftime is critical. See if you can get a drive starter. See if you can get an easy completion to kickstart a 2-minute mode, and that's what they got here. Now they got to see if they can go down and steal some points.
Thrown left side, the catch is made. It'll be taken down, but it takes them across midfield down to the 40-yard line.
And now you can see they're really getting in rhythm in this 2-minute drive. Now after that last completion, Mike, they cross midfield. Now the mindset goes to, all right, we got to come away with some points. They've got a quarterback who's in complete control, and they got to see if they can finish this thing off.
They'll come up first and 10 at the 40. He'll drop to throw. He'll get this into the hands of his running back. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they take it to the 20-yard line with that one. They get an even 20 on that one. First down, Philadelphia. In the red zone now. He'll drop to throw. He keeps it himself. And the Eagles are going to have a first and goal. He's out of bounds at the 8-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup. And that's a first down.
Mike, this is an impressive run, especially considering the fact it was zone coverage. That's a lot of defenders with eyeballs in the backfield focused on the quarterback. So to be able to escape the pocket and pick up good yardage, really good play.
And they are all over that on defense. Good surge, drops him back. Let's put him at the 9-yard line.
Number one rule of run blocking for the offensive line is you don't want to allow penetration. It just doesn't give your running back any angles to cut and find the hole. It's exactly how it played out here. They've got to do a better job.
He's got his man, middle of the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. That's a 2-touchdown game for him. Numbers 7 and 8 for the season. And that is number 2. Greg, he is off to some kind of start in this one. 2 quarters and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Mike, this is one of those situations where as a defensive coordinator, you've got to give your group an answer, because right now, they don't have one for this guy.
No problem there on the extra point. And the Eagles move out even further ahead. It is now 31-0. Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. Now return coming from the 7. And this will wind up working out well. He's going to take it up to the 40-yard line. Good return.
Their own 40-yard line.
First and 10. On the bootleg, he'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time in this first half, he's been intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Look, Mike, the reality here is that he's just not seeing the field. needs to. Now, give credit. A big part of this is the defense doing an excellent job disguising its coverages all game long. Just before the snap, when he thinks he has the answers, the secondary changes the questions, and they've been rewarded with 3 picks for their effort.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The coverage too strong that time. The ball batted away and incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
Back to the air once more on second down. No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. And he'll be very close to a first down. Won't quite have enough, but now a much more advantageous spot.
Anytime you have a running back like this, it's more about just how many ways can you get the ball in his hand. He's had a great game today so far on the ground. Now they're starting to find ways to get him the ball through the air, and that is a handful for any defense.
Open man, right side. He's got it. That catch number 40 on the season for him. So we've hit halftime, and it's the visitors, the Eagles, out on top. As we'll head down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Hi, Coach. Thank you. 2 very different halftime speeches by these head coaches, that's for sure, as we get set for half number 2. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. Oh, very good field position to start as the return is past the 40. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
And up until this point, we haven't seen a lot go their way, but here in the third quarter, they're starting to find some plays. They're starting to get some opportunities. Just got to ask yourself if it's too little, too late.
Putting the tight end in motion. From the gun, here's a handoff. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. If he gets a yard out of that one, it's second down. Throw to the right flat. It is caught. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
This is a great example here of just not getting too complicated as an offensive coordinator. Who's one of your best players on the field, and how do you get the ball in his hands?
Here's a 3rd down and 4. Now they'll set up to throw. That is brought in at the 10. And he's going to be taken down.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball, win.
And he will score. Touchdown, Carolina. And a special moment as the rookie catches his first NFL touchdown.
And the more they can develop this young tight end, Mike, it just gives this quarterback additional weapons, and it's just going to make this offense even more difficult to stop.
A tight end, his first career NFL touchdown. Do you remember yours?
Oh, man, I'll tell you, I could recall it like it was yesterday, Mike. We were up Sunday night, primetime game, Lambeau Field against Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. And the previous play, Brian Urlacher recovered a fumble probably around the 20, 25-yard line. Brian Greasy was our quarterback for Chicago, and the ensuing play threw it up to the left corner of the end zone. And, Mike, guess who called the game? None other than the legendary John Madden.
A run on 1st down. And he's fighting to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not do it. This is going to be a loss of a yard. Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. He had 2 touchdowns earlier, looking to see what he can do here in this second half. That grab gets them a 1st down.
Really nice throw downfield on that conversion. Brings up a new set of downs. And defensively, Mike, this feels like desperation mode. If you allow them to finish this drive with a touchdown, this game feels all but over.
Second down and 8. Shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Just a great example of not only the anticipation, but the instincts to go break that pass up, Mike. You can see he's clearly looking at the quarterback's eyes. And once that ball was delivered, he's just attacking it and breaking it up.
And that is incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. Throwing now on 1st and 10. That is incomplete. The pass intended for Xavier Legette. And that will lead to a 2nd down. So the challenge is not successful, and that will cost them the first of their 3 timeouts for the half. And the coverage right there. This ball knocked away. It's incomplete.
You see this offense just continue to search for a spark. It's just this entire game, their execution's just been a little bit off. And now here in the second half, they find themselves down by multiple scores. They're going to have to connect on 1 or 2 of these big plays if they want to find themselves back in this one.
Oh, now flags come in. Looks like movement up front. And third down just became a lot tougher. Whoa, things are getting tougher. It's now 3rd and 15. That's over the middle and intercepted. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the goal line. Nearly a pick 6, but he does set up the offense with 1st and goal.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But, boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism.
And he gets out wide. He'll go to the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. That is a dream scenario. The offense handed the ball 1st and goal. And, Greg, they take it to the end zone for 6.
They're not going to have many easier drives than that, Mike. I mean, to get the ball not only in a short field, but in a goal-to-go situation, you don't get a lot of those chances. You have to cash them in, and that's exactly what they were able to do.
Eagles 38, Panthers 7.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. The return starts from the 5. Good return here. Brings it up to the 33-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Got a man left side. It's caught. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Didn't take them long to get now to their opponent's side of the field. I like the idea of starting this drive with some explosive pass plays. That's going to open everything up, both underneath in the passing game and on the ground. So big play to get this drive off to a fast start.
He's going to look for the home run ball. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
Pretty clear approach here, Mike. You're just trying to take advantage of the size of your tight end versus a smaller defender. And you're just saying box him out, go up for an offensive rebound, and get the ball at its highest point. In this case, it falls incomplete, but if they continue to get that matchup, this quarterback's not going to shy away from giving his big tight end a shot.
So 2nd down, and they'll run it. And the woes in the running game continue. They're going to subtract yards there. A loss on the play.
You have to wonder if next time does the play caller give his quarterback some options to check out of this play. It was clear before the ball was snapped. This was not a great look for that play call, and you can see the end result.
Now, faking the give. And that is incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
It's too long for a field goal. They'll go for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The defense very happy to see that play call. The decision to go for it on 4th and long will end up in a turnover on downs.
Yeah, in this game, Mike, it's just gotten away from them here in the 3rd quarter. They're pretty much forced every possession. They're going to have to go for it and really press the issue. And I'm not even sure if that's going to be enough to get them back into this one.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
Pretty much just more of the same from what we saw with this back in the first half. And he doesn't need much. He gets a little bit of space, and then he can create the rest. It's the combination of patience, vision, and then the burst to hit the hole once he sees it. This guy's been a handful all day.
And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. A handoff as they try to run it here. Third and 5. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. It'll be a pickup of 10. Good for an Eagles 1st down.
A running back that can be used in the passing game is a handful for these defenses. And you can tell this offense, they're not shy getting this guy the ball. And I think the rest of this game, they're going to continue to see, hey, defense, do you have an answer for this guy?
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. They'll try to set up the screen here. And he's close to another 1st down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
You see so many teams wait till 3rd down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on 1st down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screen play still in the back of their head.
So these two teams... From 6 yards out, it's 1st and goal. Here's a run. They'll come up with nothing there. Fortunate just to get back to the line. And that'll set up 2nd and goal.
The integrity of the defense, Mike, is based on every defender holding their gap. That's exactly what we saw out of this defensive tackle. Not only did he hold his gap, he's able to shed his block and make the play.
Throwing now from the gun. This one intercepted. And the Panthers are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
So you find yourself entering the red zone. Mike, it's hard to not start envisioning scoring a touchdown. Well, that interception, it changes everything. This is a huge missed opportunity. You have to capitalize and find a way to hang 6 on the defense.
Nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
Well, this has been the story of the entire game, Mike, is just how well this defense has played, particularly against the run. There has been nowhere to operate for this offense, and it continued here on this last play.
From down near his goal line, he'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Well, it's pretty clear the main reason why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the inefficiency of this offense. And primarily out of the quarterback position. I mean, to complete less than half of your pass attempts, it just makes it very hard to compete at a high level consistently in the NFL. And if they want to find themselves having any chance of getting back into this game and winning this one, he's going to have to get a lot better with the ball. Great pass rushers live for third down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
And he's going to be hit and dropped right away. That's great coverage there. Winds up with nothing on the return. To the ground, a first down run. And a short pickup here, brought down just shy of midfield. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action, he'll set up to throw. Man is open, middle of the field. It is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Eagles. Greg, in the end zone again. I'm running out of different ways to say touchdown. They're doing it so often here today.
Mike, some offensive play callers, once they get the lead, it's just milk the clock and let's get out with a win. But not this coach. He is trying to score every single time they possess the ball.
Next to score, Eagles 45, Panthers 7.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. From the 6, here comes a return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff, running right. He's taken down, but just shy of midfield.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
On the handoff, this is Brooks. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Coming off that edge, Mike, you have to quickly determine, is this a pass or is it a run? And once he realized it was a run, he's able to shed his blocker, make the play, no gain.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. He'll air it out down the middle. That one broken up. It's incomplete. All over him down the field. It'll set up 3rd down.
There's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this is one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
Here's a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. He's got his man. That's Leggett. And he will go all the way. Xavier Leggett. Touchdown, Panthers. Well, it's not going to be enough, but at least they find the end zone at the end of a hard week's work. At least a little payoff with a touchdown, Greg.
Mike, you can just chalk this one up in the column of too little, too late. Give credit to this offense for not going down without a fight, but they're not going to have enough time to find themselves back in this one.
Butker now to add the PAT. The kick is good. And the Panthers will get just a bit closer. Putker following the touchdown to send this one away. Very good kickoff. Returnable from the 4. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. A handoff here, up the middle, and he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down. They'll stick with him again. And he's going to get 1st down, taking this one up past the 40-yard line.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
Right back to him on 1st down. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
Here's a case of an offense just piling on. You're really imposing your will on the defense. Everyone in the stadium knows you're going to run it. The defense knows it. You know it. And no matter what they do, they have no answers whatsoever.
It's 1st down, and they'll run. Nice job finding the seam. Gain of about 9. Just a yard short of that 1st down. A good spot here. 2nd and a yard. Now a give up the middle. And he moves down to the 25. That's good enough for a 1st down. Here's a run going left. And he maneuvers his way forward. A gain of 6. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. The defense can stop it twice more as the kneel down comes. Here's a 3rd down and 4. One final kneel down here inside the 40-second mark. Should be enough to put this one on ice. So it's a win here for the visiting Eagles. And that's now 4 victories in a row as they continue to play as well as anyone in the NFL. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone.
should, like. Point, point, baby. Do what I could, like. Point, point, baby. Do what I should, like. Point, point, baby. Do what I could, like. Point, 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 baby. Do what I should, like. Point, baby. Do what I could, like. Point, 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 baby. Do what I should, like. Point, point, baby. Do what I could.
I ain't never represent, baby. Ain't do no wrong. I can clean up good for you. No, I know right from wrong. 'Cause I wanna make it. So let me. I'm $1 million baby. Don't let me. Oh hell no. You rip my city so damn long. Just still don't know the speed. Sour next. Oh VA next. Methane next. Running up the check. She a bad mama, she a diva. No matter what happens, she cannot come between us again. I know we're better than friends. I took up Queen's Gambit, showed around my friends. Try to pick some energy up, it don't matter. I know you haven't moved on if you tried. I don't believe it, baby. I know you lied all night long. What you mean I changed? I stay the same. Had me losing my mind. Said the city is mine. I ain't never represent, baby. Ain't do no wrong. I can clean up good for you. No, I know right from wrong. 'Cause I wanna make it. So let me. I'm $1 million baby. Don't let me. I ain't never represent, baby. Ain't do no wrong. I can clean up good for you. No, I know right from wrong. 'Cause I wanna make it. So let me. I'm $1 million baby. Don't let me.
There's a girl in my backyard. I can run fast but won't get far. My mom thinks that I'm an animal. I'm just looking for the antidote. There's a British girl on my TV screen. She's so hot, she's so mean. Burn my body like it's flammable. Girl, I'm still a fan of you. Hey, 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 hey. Like a cannibal. Baby, I'm a fan of you. Your sensation, my fixation. Just tell me that it's tangible. Baby, I'm a fan of you. Ay, ay, ay. Your sensation is my fixation.
Say don't play with me, but I still gamble with it. We getting right before we take off on the landing strip. Know that you like all the attention that a fan gives. Say that you like me, but you way too young for marriage. I've been here before, I know exactly how it goes. Yeah, now I got you packing up your clothes. You can hit me up and let me know exactly when you close. I'm her favorite, says she need a. She wanna all day.
Ay, 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 ay.
Like a cannibal. Baby, I'm a fan of you.
Your sensation, my fixation.
Just tell me that it's tangible. Baby, I'm a fan of you.
Ay, ay, ay. Your sensation is my fixation.
Fresh out the beta game in my jeans. Black, slap, what do that mean? It mean that banging. Have my hand out, let me hang. Ay, break down, stay down. Look what I make now. Hit boy, earthquake, boy, it's a shakedown. I done so much work, they think it's fake now. Big fish, every beat is just bait now. Got rich, some switch, they try to hate now. Leave, I'm straight, I got a rake now. Need cheese, cash app, Venmo or PayPal. Turned up to the max, I'm finna break down. Flow water, big trip, boy, this a gray cloud. Highlights, ball is life, my whole tape, wow. Big boss, hella chicken, I feel like Rick Ross. Why you going so damn hard? They got me off. These new can't with me. If I do a song with you, that's a luxury. Hit boy, work with you, that's a luxury. Don't step on my Crocs, D's. Fresh out the beta game in my jeans. Black, slap, what do that mean? It mean that banging. Have my hand out, let me hang. These new can't with me. If I do a song with you, that's a luxury. If hit boy work with you, that's a luxury. Don't step on my Crocs, these luxury. Luxury. Ha, these luxury. Ha, luxury. Ha, ha, they can't with me. Slow it. I ain't finna stop till they make the rap blow it. Shout out Yaya, she was with me at my lowest. Best baby daddy in the world, and you know it. I thought that I was done, he said hop back in. Made it to the league, this is not Pac-10. Headline set, that's a big back end. Let the beat drop, bring that back in. Fresh out the beta game in my jeans. Black, slap, what do that mean? It mean that banging. Have my hand out, let me hang it. Ay, these no can't with me. If I do a song with you, that's a luxury. If hit boy work with you, that's a luxury. Don't step on my Crocs, these luxury.
Passport stamp, let's do the money dance. Back in, call your friend, now we in friends. International man, tats on my hand. Take a trip with a pilot, I tell you when we land. You know I'm down with the whales, I be by the sand. On sun, yeah, it's blowing in the wind. What you doing? We kung fu and I beat it up. They never heard me on the beat when it's speeded up. 100 racks on the plate, she gon' eat it up. Yeah, I'm all in, like all night. Throw the racks up, make it fall right. And if you take a shot, make sure you hold the ball right. 1-800, yeah, bad, my type. My type, yeah, it's my type. I love the way that she put it all on me. The best things don't come from free.
100 racks, she be dancing. 100 racks, she should take chances. 100 racks, she's in this bed. 100 racks, she can get this all night. All night. All night.
You can tell when it's Tokyo, it's all heat. Don't ride in the back, jump in the front seat. By the end of the night, she gon' love me. She don't even know me, she wanna hug me. It's a vision, little baby, I'm moving cozy. Most solid in the game, it can't fold me. How you do it, it's so fluid, let's get to it. If you want something, gotta commit to it. This is something that jam to and sip to it. I can show you how to do it, take you right to it. Made of whales in it, got a twist to it. This ain't Big Sean, but I'm making good music. How you keep rhyming, man, I'm used to it. You should be too, I like it see-through. And if we dancing on the floor, I'ma need you. And if we dancing on the floor, I'ma need you.
100 racks, she be dancing. 100 racks, she should take chances. 100 racks, she's in this bed. 100 racks, she can get this all night. All night. All night. 100 racks, she be dancing. 100 racks, she should take chances. 100 racks, she's in this bed. 100 racks, she can get
what she said. She said, say less. Say less. She want 50, got me, baby. Say less. Say less. Talking's only slowing us down. Say less.
Check. I'm a gentleman, baby, and a dog with a bite. I just wanna nibble on your night. So sentimental when I step in the middle. When I do a little dance till it turns daylight. So jump, in a moment. Margella got me feeling iconic. And if you can't groove, she don't want it. Great sex, say less.
She said, baby, what you talking about? Let's do something else with that. That's what she said. She said, say less. Say less. She want 50, got me, baby. Say less. Say less. Talking's only slowing us down. Say less. Say less.
Stop the road when you walking. You let your hips do the talking. You leaving me no options. Say less, say less.
Say less.
Stop the road when you walking. You let your hips do the talking. You leaving me with no options. Say less, say less, say less.
Say less.
I sit on the corner and shook my. Now I'm finna give y'all another hit.
And I just put my drink down.
Milan, darling, Milan.
That to the slip, poodle, y'all think run this. Miss she, her black, designer say Gucci, Prada print, DOE, I'm a condo rich, big Dolce, Diva, Donda, Dundada, Tokyo, Honda drip. Poppin' Dolce season, new persona, new pushback, but I'm still gon' get that. Labels quaking, they mistaken. I'm that wrist stay frozen, QU. Let's go, I'ma get. Unfazed, unbothered, with a boo, why bother? I'm that, you ain't no. I'ma get money type of. If you ain't getting money, don't type me. Crocodile Birkin might bite him. Can't hang with her if I don't like it. These I come through and nip you crickets. I come through and moose be switching. I'm the problem, I'm the villain. I don't see these rickshaws throwing dirt on my name and he gon' hit still. Know who to play with, and he's know who to